Hello everyone and welcome back to the Apache Halloween YouTube channel. This is the haunt build process video part 2. It's currently July 4th at the time I'm filming this section, but there have been some progresses made for the haunted house. We have been working on the swamp, and that's what we're going to continue to do right now. I found this staked bird feeder prop from on the Chicago Haunt Builders Facebook group page, and the person was just giving it away for free. So I was like, and it was right around the corner from where we live, so it was perfect to pick it up thinking it was going to be in okay condition. Well, it's not in the best condition, you know, but that's how it is. And the hands are completely dry rotting and they're all crumpled up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I thought about saving them with the latex repair technique that I sometimes do. I think for the time being, I'm just going to stick some generic skeleton hands on him and then maybe paint it up. But the real thing that I want to do today is I actually want to make this guy look a little more believable. You know, it's really thin plastic where it crumples by pressure of your hands, and it just looks really fake and plasticky. So I figured I don't want to really make a real video on this. This can just be a segment of the haunt build. So we're just going to do probably a time lapse of me just making him look a little better, adding some shadows and more gore to him. So without further ado, let's get into that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to start painting the red along the rib cages and the inside, and I'm also on the mouth there. It's just a bright typical red. Now I am going in and spraying some shadows with just normal black paint. Vallejo color brand is what I like to use here. And now I'm going to go and darken up the eyes to make it look like they were ripped out, I guess you could say. I'm going to go do that. I'm also spraying the clothing, some blacks and reds, just to make it a little interesting. Now I'm going in and taking some of the greens that I have, and I am going to spray some green to make it look like a moss texture to it. I have a couple greens. I think I used 3 in the video here just to give some deviations. And now I'm basically going around with another color of red. Now this one isn't made for the airbrush, so I had to thin it out a little bit. And that's the hardest part with using stuff that is not made especially for the airbrush, because these are acrylic paints, and you need to make sure that it's really thinned down and you have to mix it up really well, or else it is not going to go through the air gun that great. I am now just heating the paint up to help it dry a little faster. That's just a heat gun I'm using on the lowest setting, and I'm being sure not to be too close to the plastic or else I'll melt it. So now I'm going in with some darker paints just to get in the cavities, and the next thing that I'm going to do is take the spray blood or fake blood from Spirit Halloween to hopefully get it to run and make it look like it's almost a little lively, very gory looking. But that is about it for this little segment of the time lapse. So now we are going to cut back into the video. So it has been a few days since the last installment of the video. This guy is now pretty much complete. I do want to add some moss to him, but I don't want to add it until later, till closer to Halloween, simply because I don't know how durable that would be in the weather, and it would probably all just blow away. I did steal these hands. These are just Dollar Tree hands from a couple years ago. I made these and I corpsed them, and I just stole them off, and I am using them. And then this is just a wig I got at the 50% off sale last year from Spirit. And as you can see, it's kind of shiny, his bloodiness. That is just a clear coat, a Rust-Oleum clear coat out of a spray can, and that looks pretty good. It gives it a sheen, and it should look good in any lighting. So he is going to be placed in the swamp, and he is going to be somewhere on one of these poles here. Now this is the beginning of the 2023 swamp theme setting. We got these big poles that are just stuck in the ground with rebar, and there's cement pillars down in the base there that keep them pretty stable. They don't move all that much. And this rope is not going to be the final rope. We're going to find a little thicker of a rope to wrap around everything. But here, as it goes around, you can see that there's this little dock pier thing, and we have a tire that's just screwed in right now, but I'm gonna tie rope around it to make it look authentic, more authentic. And we're gonna find another tire and put it here. But this is the little deck that Grinning Gertrude is gonna stand on. She's gonna be on here, and I'm gonna have to do some more modifications to her to make her more stabilized and more of one complete unit with all the speakers and stuff that I have set up for her. And then over here, I was going to put our cauldron and our tree stump, but now I'm not too sure. I believe I'm still gonna probably go with that. But we also have the howling werewolf prop that might go here instead. Not too sure, maybe we can fit all three of them in this little area. But there is a little hill here. You can barely tell, it's a faint incline. And that is because we are going to have laser swamp lights all down here. So it looks like you're actually stepping in the marsh as you walk over to the next theme over here. So this is the base to Grinning Gertrude. We added a plywood base to her and put some strap steel all around. Also got some aid for this part because this is the JB welded side of her base, just to help, so hopefully the plywood doesn't snap it off. The next thing we are going to do is take some of these Velcro, generic Velcro straps, and get the clothing on right. And we're gonna hot glue some Velcro to the wood here and get her dress to look really nice here, so it doesn't blow in the wind as badly, because sometimes with some props the wind will blow and you'll just see the poles here and it looks pretty dumb. So we are gonna try to avoid that problem. So I got Gertrude out here. This is where her resting place is going to be for Halloween, up here on the deck. I have her hooked up right now with her speaker on, so let's see how loud she is.
You little people make me so happy and so hungry.
So down here on the bottom, I Velcroed in her dress. She has an external speaker right here from Home Depot. And then in the back is a brick. And you can see that red box is the timer for her. So that's pretty nice. And she has Velcro on all four sides. And that's just to help with the wind. And I also put a Velcro piece on her hat, so hopefully the hat doesn't blow away. I was gonna put two, but it seems like the one is more than enough for it to stay on the head. So you can see that she looks pretty cool up there. It gives her some extra, like a foot in height. Looks a little intimidating. Then this guy's gonna be hanging somewhere, I'm not sure where. He's probably gonna go on this post right back here in the corner. I think that'll be fine, something like that. I'm gonna probably tie the rope around the post instead of just having it hang like that. But that looks pretty nice, adds a little detail. So I think what's gonna go here is the cauldron and the stump. So I have to finish making the cauldron, which is probably gonna be the next segment of this video. So here is the whole section, all like in a demo prototyping stage. We have most of it all out. Now obviously, well maybe not obviously, but I only have one light right here this time around. For Halloween, I'm probably gonna have fire and ice lights out and probably some spotlights to like shine on certain objects and things. Like you could see there's the spell book in that corner right there. That will probably get its own light, and the face for Gertrude will get its own light. And I don't want the light to be too bright or else it will these will get drowned out by the flood lighting, the little swamp lights. Those are inspired from the Wicked makers. There's Gertrude. She's on her timer right now, so she just goes off in like 45-second intervals right now because the sensor for her isn't really the strongest. It might go off right now if I maybe cover up her sensor. Oh, nope. So it's just working off the timer. You see here's the cauldron that I was talking about. It's got some underwater lights in there to make it green. I'm probably gonna spray that black to get rid of it. I don't really like it. Here you can see the spell books and also the little potion bottles. They're swirling with the magnets inside of them. That's the tree stump. So it all basically looks pretty good here. I'm pretty pleased with it. Everything fits nicely, and as the people continue to walk around, there'll be more props. I'm thinking about Howling Werewolf being like over in the brick area. And then obviously we're gonna have the laser swamp on the bottom. Hopefully that turns out all right. Not too sure where the fog machine's gonna go yet. I guess it depends on how the wind's blowing on Halloween. So that is the end of this haunt build video. I wanna thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the progress that we have made today in this video. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have anything to say, just comment it down below. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.